So one has decided to move to Germany. Where do you start? How does one even begin the transition to a new lifestyle, new culture, new everything? The right way, of course. But I got 3 things that I feel like are really beneficial. So especially if you're American, pay attention. The very first thing that I would suggest you get into the habit of that really costs you no extra time is collecting and exchanging your Pfand. Here in Germany, they have kind of a recycle system that allows you to receive a refund on every aluminum can or glass bottle or plastic bottle that you use here in Germany. Now the plastic and the aluminum both have to have this symbol on it, but the glass does not for some reason. I don't really know how they're doing the glass. Maybe the Germans can help me with how they're doing the glass, but the plastic and the aluminum definitely have to have that symbol on it. And what happens is each time you buy an item that uses these containers, there's a 20-25 cent surcharge on the price of it that you then get back once you return the container empty. And in my opinion, you don't really lose any money. You're just constantly using that same amount of money. I collect like bags and bags of it and I take it all at once. And I can usually collect anywhere between 30 and 40 euros worth of aluminum and plastic that I can turn around and use for whatever else. I don't think that's too shabby at all. So definitely get into the habit of doing this early on. That way it's never a hassle or a bother for you. That's your first hack. Here's your second one. If you have the means to, you should consider growing your own food. Almost all of my neighbors have something growing in their yards, whether it's small gardens of vegetables, apple trees, pear trees, there's tomatoes, cucumbers. Everybody's growing something that they can eat on their own. I was doing it once upon a time, but I kind of slacked up on it. I do want to get back to it, but that's not the hack. That's not even the hack. The hack comes from this part. So everyone knows in order to grow healthy food, you need healthy soil. That could be expensive. One thing that anybody I've known that grows food since I've been in Germany does is they make their own compost or compost. I did not realize how easy this was to make, nor did I realize what people are doing when I saw the process to it. Because in fact, my grandfather used to actually do this exact thing and I never knew why he did it. So all it entails is putting all your naturally perishable food scraps into a bin or pile somewhere away from like your windows or your doors and stuff like that, because it's gonna draw some natural critters.
We do compost, so all the clippings that are cut have to be collected along with scraps of food, coffee grinds, dead leaves, other stuff. You know compost.
But you put your naturally perishable scraps into a bin or pile, maybe add some dead leaves, some dead grass, water it if it doesn't rain enough. And if you want to be extra proactive, you can mix it up every now and again. But what happens is this, over time, returns to its natural form, which is a healthy, rich soil and fertilizer that's good for growing your own food. So when you cut out the centers of your lettuce and you cut off the ends of your carrots, your apple cores, the rinds of your watermelons, the peels of your oranges, all of that stuff, any of the parts of the vegetables you don't eat, all of that stuff can go in that pile. Now hopefully I don't have to say this, but you never add dead meat to it or carcasses of any type. And again, for those who want to be super proactive, you can add manure to it, and I'm pretty sure manure from animals that eat only plants is best. But yeah, if you can pull that off and make your own compost, that's gonna save you money in the long run in having to buy soil or fertilizer. And if I'm honest, it gets quite fun to be this self-sustaining and do the stuff on your own. I kind of love it. So your first hack is get used to the Pfand system early. Your second hack is maybe grow your own food and make your own compost. Your third hack, save money on fuel prices by becoming less dependent on your car. What do I mean? Well, what I mean is maybe invest in a bike, an e-bike better yet. If you couple having a bike or e-bike with the public transportation system, this is the one hack that you're gonna be so proud of. So especially during the recording of this video, Germany's doing the €9 ticket thing. So imagine being able to take your bike and the train to wherever it is that you wanted to go, instead of having to always get up in the car and waste money on fuel and hate every minute of it. Those of us from the States are used to driving cars every single where we go because everything is just so spread apart. There's just so much distance between where you are and where you need to be in most cases. The bigger cities, yeah, they do public transportation through trains and stuff like that, but most places in the States just don't do things this way. So you're used to driving the car everywhere. Well, if you move to Germany, maybe decide early on that you're gonna try the bike and public transportation combo. Not only are you gonna save massive amounts of money on fuel, but you're also gonna passively be getting exercise. And if you take longer trips, you'll be able to enjoy seeing the countryside because you won't have to focus on traffic. There's just too many wins with doing this. There's too many wins. And the reason I call this a hack is because most people, myself included, look at this and be like, why didn't I do this in the beginning? Because it's just so beneficial. So there you have it. That's 3 different hacks that if you're moving to Germany are gonna make your life so much easier, and you will be glad that you got on board with all 3 of these. I'm not a current car driver myself right now. I'm all about public transportation. I do still want to get an e-bike. I just need the right situation. I talk about that more here. Check it out if you haven't. Otherwise, YouTube thinks this is good for you. You can check that out. Either way, pick one of these, and I'll talk to y'all in the next video. Yes, I will.